Yeah. I'm gonna try to make this quick, but this has been a book I read. I really found a lot of interest in. I really think a lot of people would benefit from reading it, and it is Negros with Guns by Robert F. Williams. I think a lot of people will like this book. It's not going to be a long review, nor is it going to be a real in-depth analysis on the book itself. It's really just an overview, giving my opinions about it, giving a brief little description about what it's about, and then pretty much going to send it off on Nick and do your own research on your own time. So basically, Robert F. Williams is an activist. So this is take place way back during civil rights / Black Power movement around that era. So it's a lot of change going on. And the main things that the book emphasizes is the use of protests and how white society kind of views it and what their views and opinions are on it and how they react to it, especially the population. We always get to see a lot of older, more powerful people react to the Black Power movement and give their opinions on it, give their accounts and whatnot, but we never get to see what the actual citizens think and how they react to certain things. We never get to see it versus what the media puts out. So this is a first-hand account of a lot of situations and historical events that happen from another perspective. So with that being said, taking that into account with the book, I do recommend it, but I also recommend kind of doing your research beforehand on reading the book, because it doesn't start off with the opinion of Robert F. Williams as far as like where he comes from, his upbringing, things of that nature. It comes from more of it's here to deliver a message, and that's really it. The book's it's not an autobiography, it's not a memoir. It's really just a book about highlighting really three key aspects that happened during this time. So there was a protest about swimming pools and recreational, I want to say, buildings and its activities as general. It was more focused on a swimming pool, but if you kind of read into it a little bit more and get the bigger picture, it's really about just not having a lot of activities and recreational events, which is still a problem to this day, but this is more highlighted back then. Also, it talks about, I want to say, why African Americans and why Robert F. Williams, because one of his most famous things he said was the use of self-defense. This is a very controversial thing many activists really don't tackle because of how the population reacts to it. That's probably the best way I can put it. The way the population, especially white society, reacts to black people arming themselves has always been very violent in return. Even when it's initially, even when white society came first to black people with violence, they don't necessarily, they still don't see it as a good thing. I don't know why exactly, but whenever black people try to arm themselves, it's never met with a gratifying, response. It's always real. We don't like this. We're not going to showcase this. So he immediately got demonized for that comment. And he was also part of the NAACP. That is a big aspect of this book too. So if you're not familiar with the inner workings of the NAACP, it might be a little hard for you to read, or it might be a little boring if you're not into that type of stuff. But it does deal with kind of the more subtle aspects of the civil rights movement, as far as like internal monologue within organizations and between members and the different ideologies and how they clash together. So a lot of people probably don't even get to see that aspect of it, but it just depends. Okay, sorry about that. Something something happened, and I have to cut the video a little short. But what I was saying was, a lot of people don't get to see the inner connections of the black organizations and how they interact with each other. Sorry about that. And so that gives more of a nuanced aspect to another thing people are not really used to seeing. So along with all the things I just named, along with what I just said, all the in combination kind of encompasses this book as a whole. It's really what it's about. It's more about, Robert S. Williams' accounts of different events that happened, how they tried to skew his character personality and overall his message as a whole, how he was hunted by different police organizations, and how even fleeing the United States as a whole was not enough to really even, I don't know. I don't know how to even say it really. He was just hunted because of what he believed in and the change he was trying to make. So that's everything in the book. That's really it. I encourage a lot of people to go read it. I encourage a lot of people to go check it out. Definitely go read up on different other political activists, different organizational activists outside the African American community, even in Hawaiian community, even in the Latino community, the Mexican community. Check out other different, uprisings and revolutionary causes besides just in America during the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Definitely check out other things. But there is still currently different revolution going on right now, and different people still trying to gain freedom as a whole for people, or even a certain minority in a certain country. So definitely check out those things. I'll catch you all on the next one. Thanks for watching. I'm out.